Greetings, Hafaday and Talofa. This short video will provide an introduction to the Office of Insular Affairs NEPA screening form, which is used to help expedite the process for you to start executing your grant. NEPA stands for the National Environmental Policy Act. Compliance with NEPA is required anytime federal funds are involved in a project. When a grant is awarded, it is just the first step towards getting started on your project. The next step is to document compliance with NEPA. Once compliance with NEPA has been confirmed, you will receive a notice to proceed, which allows you to begin using the grant funding. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers assists the Office of Insular Affairs in ensuring NEPA compliance by reviewing and providing recommendations. We can also help you in preparing your documentation. The extent of NEPA documentation depends on the complexity of your project and its impact or potential impact on the natural or cultural environment. There are basically 4 levels of NEPA documentation which might be required for a project. The lowest level would be a memorandum to file, which documents that the project has been evaluated and found that no additional compliance is required. The next level is a record of environmental consideration, which requires more documentation and possibly consultation with other agencies. The next level is the environmental assessment, which requires much more documentation, consultation, and perhaps other supporting studies and analyses. Finally, there's the environmental impact statement, which is quite expensive and takes years and is unlikely for most OIA grants. The screening form is used to help gather project information in one place so that decisions can be made regarding the level of NEPA documentation required. The first page of the form has the instructions. Before you start filling out the form, we recommend that you have the project information handy. The second page of the form, shown here, is for general information. For the project narrative, it's important that you focus more on what the project will do and not so much on why it is needed. Okay, the next thing you do is you open Google Maps in the browser, find your site on the map, and click on it. You see at the bottom the city and the coordinates pop up. Write down the coordinates on a sheet of paper and save it for later. Then what you do is you back off so the entire site is on the screen. You want to see the whole site and the area around it. And do a screenshot. You can do the screenshot in this view, which is the cartoon view, or the satellite view, whichever you think is better. Finally, the last thing that you'll do is you'll copy the address. And paste that into the form, as I'll show you. Write in the coordinates, copy the map address, and then add the screenshot. Don't worry if the image doesn't fill the entire area. It will be good enough for us to get started with. Pages 3 through 6 are a series of questions. Answer each to the best of your ability, and if you don't know, just click the Don't Know box. The individual questions relate to what are called categorical exclusions, and they help us determine the level of additional coordination that may be necessary. Please answer every question. For some questions, we've added some additional explanation. Simply hover your mouse over the question for a few seconds. If there is a tip, it will pop up in a bubble. Remember, Hover, don't click. Pages 7 and 8 are for project site photos. These can be extremely useful for us in helping to determine if a physical project might have some impact on the environment. They are not needed for hiring or office training grants. For grants which change or construct something, having several photos, both close and far, will help us know, for example, if a historic building might be impacted, or maybe if the site is far away from any natural resources. This is how you add photos. Click. Browse to your file location. And click on the photo. We need to have a good caption, which lets us know what is happening. Remember, you know your site very well, but it's new to us. You might need to shrink the photo so that the document doesn't get too big to email. Try to get the photo size down to 500 kilobytes or less if you can. Everybody's software does it a little bit differently, but here are a few quick tips. First, open the photo. Whatever tools you have, adjust the size. Notice that you can lock the proportionality together. So in this case, we're going to leave it locked so it doesn't get all stretched, and make it a smaller photo. So it's going to go from 1.3 megabytes to 310 kilobytes. And then finally we save it. Once you've added the photos and checked the responses to the questions above, you are finished with the form. Please save it using your grant number as the file name. Send the PDF to the long email address at the bottom of page 1. If we need more information, we will be in touch. Sometimes, when we get more information about a project, we decide that it might need to change from one type of documentation to another. But this screening tool will help us get onto the right track sooner. I've covered a lot of information here, but if you only remember one thing, it should be hover, don't click. Thanks, and if you need help, just email to the address on the form and we will get back to you. Have a great day.